Okay, notes 3.5, the triangle sum theorem. Alright, so if we think about the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle, well, what we know about that is they add up to be 180 degrees. So if we add the three angles inside of a triangle, so angle A, B, and C, so angle A plus angle B plus angle C is going to equal 180 degrees. The relationship between the exterior angle of a triangle and the non-adjacent interiors. Well, if we have a triangle, so we have this exterior right here, so we can call this, if we have A, B, and C. So C is the exterior. The relationship that the angles are equal. So the angles are equal, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So angle A plus angle B is going to equal to angle C, because what we know is that if this is D, well, D and C is 180. Well, A plus B plus D is 180, so we just substitute C in for D. So if we know the measures of two interior angles of a triangle, how can you find the measure of the third angle? Well, we add them together and then subtract from 180. So we add the angles together and then subtract from 180. And then we come to this thing, it's called a parallel postulate. Or actually, I forgot to include that slide. The parallel postulate, well, it says given a line and a point not on the line, there's exactly one line that contains the given point and is parallel to the given line. So I'll read that again. The parallel postulate, given a line and a point not on the line, there is exactly one line that contains the given point and is parallel to the given line. In the triangle sum theorem, the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So we can use algebra to help us solve these. So if we have this first example, which is x plus 2x plus 2x plus 15, what we can say is we can just add up all these angles together to give us 180 degrees. And then we can look at it and we can combine our like terms. And we would get 5x plus 15 equals 180 degrees. Subtract 15 from both sides. We get 5x equals 165. Divide by 5. X is equal to 33. Not 33, 31. So x should equal 31. So x is 31. And then what we can do is we can substitute the 31 back in. No, it is 33. So we can substitute 33 back in. And we would get 33 plus 66 plus 81. So there's the three angles, 2 times 33 is 66, 2 times 33 plus 15. So we have our three angles, and we can add them all up to show that, well, 33 plus 66 plus 81, this is 10, carry the 1, and this is 180 degrees. So we know that each of these angles added together is 180 degrees. If we look at example 2, we have x minus 15, 2x minus 165, and 90. Well, what we can say is we know that x minus 15 plus 2x minus 165 plus 90 equals 180. So we can say 3x minus 90 equals 180. 3x equals 270. X equals 90. So x is equal to 90 degrees. And now we want to substitute this back in. So we want to do this one. So we can say that 90 minus 15 is going to be 75 degrees. And then we can do 2 times 90 minus 165, which is 180 minus 165. that will be 15 degrees. And once again, we can add up our angles. So 75 plus 15 plus 90, 10, and 180 to show that when we add them all, three of them up, it gives us 180 degrees. If we look at the back, it says the exterior angle theorem states that the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measures of the non-adjacent interior angles. Non-adjacent interior angles. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle A plus B. So A plus B is equal to the measure of angle 1. So if we look at this example here, well, we can say 65 plus x is equal to 2x plus 10. And then we can solve it. Subtract x from both sides, so we get 65 equals x plus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides, x is equal to 55. So we know that x is 55. So we know that this is 55. And then if we add 65 and 55, we get 120. And that means this angle is 60 degrees. And if we fill in this diagram here, well, angle 1 plus angle 2, that's going to be 100 degrees. That's 110 degrees. That's 120 degrees. It's 130 degrees. Angle 1 plus angle 2, so angle 3, we subtract it from 180, so that's 180 minus 100 is 80. 180 minus 110 is 70. 180 minus 120 is 60. And 180 minus 130 is 50. So that's how we're getting angle 3. And angle 4, well, angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Or we can subtract 180 minus 80, which is 100, because they are a linear pair. So either way, 110, 120, and 130. So if we look at our diagram here, we want to figure out all these values. Well, the first thing we can look at is we know that DF is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to FC. So we can start naming some angles. Well, we know that this angle is 50 because these are corresponding angles. Well, 60 plus 50 minus 180. This angle is going to be 70. When we add them all together, it's 180. This is a linear pair, so this has to be 120 because 60 plus 120. This angle down here is also 60 because these are corresponding since DF is parallel to BC. Let's see, what else can we do? What else can we say? Well, we know that this angle is 50 degrees because that is a vertical angle. Well, if that's 50 degrees, well, we know that this angle is 130 degrees because that is a linear pair. And then we can say that this angle right here is 60 degrees. If FC and AB are parallel, cut by a transversal, these are alternate interior angles. And then this last angle, 50 plus 60 is 110. That's going to be 70 degrees. Now, when we look at finding all these, well, angle B is 60 degrees, angle A is 70 degrees, AED is 50 degrees, EDB is 120 degrees, DEC 130 degrees, FEC is 50, this is 60 degrees, and the measure of angle F is also 60 degrees. So once again, we're looking for alternate interior angles and corresponding in the triangle sum theorem. And then the last example down there, try to find all the angles yourself, and then just pause it and then play after you manage to get what all the angles are. So this first one, well, we know that 125 plus, or 180 minus 125, that'll be 55 degrees, which will give us both of these. We have vertical angles, linear pair. What we know here is 50 plus 55, 180 minus that is going to give us 75 degrees. So that'll be 75 degrees. Let me change this color a little bit. Stick to the black. You can see that easy. So this is 75 degrees. Well, if we now have 55, we have 85 angle 4. Well, 85 plus 55 is 0, 140. So we know that angle 4 is 40 degrees. Well, if angle 4 is 40, angle 6 has to be 40. It's a linear pair, which means that angle 5 is going to be 140 degrees from right here, because the non-adjacent sides we add them together give us angle 5. If this is 65, angle 8 has to also be 65 vertical angles. Then we can get angle 9, so 180 minus 65, 115. So this is 115 degrees. And then 60 plus 40 is 105. 180 minus 105 is 75. So we know that this is 75 degrees. And that's how we get all of our angles. So that was a little bit about the triangle sum theorem. We will practice some more in class on Monday. Enjoy the weekend.